today's session. Yes, what did we learn yesterday?
Object class.
Yeah, we learned about object class. What is object class, Nischal?
Object class is the class that any class that we create will inherit the object class.
Correct. Object class is a class when you don't extend any other class. By default, object class is extended. So a class to class is called extension. Okay, it is called inheritance. How we inherit a lot of properties from our parents. Similarly, in Java program, if a class you created and if you don't extend any parent class, by default, the object class is called extended and object class is called a superclass. Clear? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Next one, Dilip. What else we learned? Dilip.
Sir?
What else we learned? What is other topic we learned yesterday?
We completed wrapper class. Object class is supermerge class. Then we have learned about toString equals hash code like that.
No, that's fine. But you tell wrapper classes. Can you
In
explain
wrapper
me
class,
wrapper classes? What are we learned yesterday? See, guys, all of us have one
in
topic
wrapper class we
or one concept, and we have to discuss about of it. You explain about of what you do understand from that.
In wrapper class.
Yes, Dilip.
We
What
don't
did you
need
learn about wrapper classes? What is the
typecasting.
use of wrapper classes?
Hello? Is my audio? Hello? Hello?
You understand my question?
No, my audio, your audio is not visible, sir. I think network problem.
Dilip.
Hello? Hello?
No, you're speaking, Dilip, but we are not able to hear you.
I will check my internet.
Okay, 1 second, guys. 1 second. You're speaking. I think we muted here. I think we have to change the. One moment. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dilip.
In wrapper class, we talk about object wrapper class. In wrapper class, we don't need typecasting. It is easy to use. Change from one primitive data type to another primitive data type.
Okay, perfect. So I'll repeat. Wrapper classes are
we will use in collections.
Yeah, correct. Correct. You're absolutely right. Wrapper class are a wrapping of your primitive data type. For each primitive data type, there is a wrapper class. And what is the use of wrapper classes? When you are using a collections framework, so collections framework will not allow you to use a primitive data type. You have to use the wrapper classes. That is one of the use. The second use is whenever you're changing the one data type to another data type, usually before wrapper classes, we use casting. Casting doesn't look good and it doesn't look like a clear coding. So that's where the conversion can be happen with the help of wrapper classes. So wrapper class will give object capabilities to a primitive data type. Okay, that's it. Then Munindra, we learnt about of arrays. What is array?
Array is the collection of data, similar data type.
Okay.
And its index have.
Correct. When do you use it? Why do you use a arrays? What is the use of array?
We using the primitive same number of data you want to store, use to arrays.
Right. When you want to store a similar data type elements together, like your dates, days, months, or scores, marks, Okay. All those things, instead of going for a different variables, you can use a arrays. And when you are using an array, you have to specify the number of elements which can store in an array. Or else you can create a dynamic arrays by directly passing the elements. And array works in the basis of index. That means if you have 10 elements, you will have 0 to 9 indexes. If you have 4 elements, 3 indexes will be there. So 0 also will be considered as index. So that's what we learned about of arrays yesterday. Today, we will look after the methods. What is a method? Guys, what is a method? So arrays, I'm going to create a new package, and in that one, we'll write a new methods. Right click, explore Java, new class, explore methods. Okay. And methods is my package name. What is a method, guys? Did you hear the name method or a function?
Yes.
Yes.
What is it? What does it do? What is the use of it?
A method is a section of code which can be called multiple times.
Okay, method is a section of code called multiple times. Okay. Yeah, it's correct, but I'll give a right sentence. Yeah, it's correct. Yeah. Anybody else would like to answer? So,
Some task do for classes.
subtask do for classes, huh?
Some task.
Subtask, subtask for classes. Is it correct?
It will perform set of instructions given by the compiler.
Perform set of instructions. Yeah, Dilip.
Given by the coder, compile, given by
Given by
programmer.
programmer. Okay. See, as of now, whatever we have seen is called statements. Let's say I open one of the, let's say, variables here, explore variables. This is one line, right? We can call it as a one statement, right? This is another statement, right? And one more statement. So what happens is each individual piece of line of code is called a statement. But when you inside a method, you can have a bunch of lines of code or bunch of statements. Okay. So method is method consists of few statements those are executed at once upon calling the method. Okay. So I'll break it. Method consists of few statements. The first one is it consists of few statements. Okay. So those are executed at once. Those are executed once means the moment you call that method, all of them are executed once, right? I mean to say step by step. Those are executed once or a one by one upon calling the method. Is it clear, guys? It consists of more than one statement. See, sometimes you can have only one statement which is returning a value. Okay. But in general, for one statement, we will not create a method. Okay, we will try to use, instead of creating a method and calling that method which is returning one value, we write in our code itself certain information. So method consists of few statements. Those are executed at once. I can say at once, one by one upon calling the method. Did you understand? So use is a section of code called multiple times. Correct. This is what I'm coming to. Methods are method once you create a method, once you create a method, you can execute any number of times. Okay. When you're calling, it is nothing but you are executing any number of times. And yes, it is a subtask for a classes. That means the methods can be, instead of you're writing a big program with 200 lines of code, you can break it into multiple methods and you can call on need basis. That is you can say subtask of classes, and it performs set of instructions. Guys, our program itself is a set of instruction. When you write a program, ideally you are writing set of instructions to be executed. Right? It's given by a programmer. All of your statements are correct, but I just gave little technical way of clarification. Method consists of few statements. Those are executed once, one by one upon calling a method. Once you create a method, you can execute any number of times. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. It goes on a sequence. When you are executing a method, it executes in a sequence. That's where it is one by one. I will write it as in sequence. Okay. In sequence also, there is, again, when it call other method, it works differently. We'll get into deeper little later. But for us, once you write some code in a method and you want to execute it, you want to get some value out of it. Okay. There are 4 types of methods. 4 types of methods. Okay. So I'm writing it as A, B, C, D. Okay, 4 types. So a method is always okay. First, let me give the method syntax. Okay, let me give the method syntax. Then I'll come to the types of methods. Method syntax. What is a method syntax is method consists of method name. The first one is a method name. What is the name of a method? Because whenever you're writing a code, you want to execute multiple statements, you have to give a meaningful name for a method saying that what is it do? What does it do? Right? The code will be written by us, right? Humans, right? We have to understand what is the purpose of that method. Second, any input it accepts. Okay, input it accepts. Okay, you call it as parameters, arguments, or arguments. You call it as parameters and or arguments. Okay, I'll tell you the difference between parameters and arguments. What is the input it accepts? Right? What is the output it produces? You call it as return type. You call it as return type. So the first is method name. What is the input it accepts? And what is the output it produces? Let's take an example. Let's take an example. We have a calculations method, right? So as part of types, we have created calculations, right? Wrapper classes, yeah, calculations. Do you remember this, guys? Calculations class?
Yes.
All of these are methods, right? Let's say addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. Okay. So now we'll try to, these all are similar methods. If you observe here, you are passing some input. Everywhere you're passing 2 inputs and it is returning some value. Now we will dig deeper into this one, and we also dig deeper into different methods. The different methods is, let's say you have a greetings. You have a main method, right? Guys, main method is also method, guys. Okay, but it is a execution point. So I say main method is a method which is a execution starting point of a program. Right? When you create a main method, without main method, your Java programs will not run. Okay, main method is a method which is an execution starting point of a program. So now if you see the welcome, see here also we are printing something. Okay, so is main method returning something to us? Now this is the time for us to analyze what is the main method. See, it is giving public static void main. Okay, we want only a method, main method, and it is taking some inputs which is string arguments, and it is not returning anything to us. That's where we give it as a void. Okay, we'll understand in little deeper. Let me go back to giving an example. Let's say addition. Addition is what is my method name, and when I want to have an addition, I have to pass a minimum of 2 numbers, which I will pass it as integer first and integer second. Right? This is my flower braces for execution. Then it will return me something which is a type of int. Okay, guys, this is what is, let's say, example. Let me give a syntax. Syntax is method name, okay, parameters, flower braces is for your execution here, return type. Okay, if you observe here, I'm just giving a spaces here for your better understanding. If you observe here, method name is addition. I want to add a number. Parameters, if I want to add, I mean to say do the perform addition, I require 2 variables, that is first name or first value and second value. That is my parameters. Then once your execution is done, is it returning anything for me? Yes, it is returning an integer. This is a typical method which takes input and which returns output. Okay, now we will understand the types of method and execute each one of the method and see how it works. See, the first one is method without parameters, without
Return value.
return type. Yeah, correct. Return value. This is the first one. Method without parameters and without return value. Let's go and see how we can write it. So I'm closing all of these things. I created a new package, which is explore methods. Under this, I want to write a main method. Okay. In this one, guys, lot of people try to write lot of code inside your execution method. Okay, that is wrong way for you, for entry level people to understand how the program works. You have to always write a code in a separate class. Then you will understand how to call that method and what is the access specifiers associated with it. So what I will do here is methods. I'm going to create a class called greetings, new class. Okay, greetings. In this greetings, I am creating a method, let's say seasonal greetings. What is a seasonal greetings is you have a different seasons, right? Let's say summer, autumn, winter, all those things. When you want to greet somebody, by default, all these institutes like banks or any of the services and all, right, like your car service and all, they'll always put a message and say seasonal greetings. So now this is my method name, which is seasonal greetings, which is not taking any parameters, no input. And I don't want to return any output. That's where if there is no returning, you can call it as a void. Void means this method doesn't return anything to us. Okay. Then what is the use of this method? I want to print something when I call this method. I say syso system.out.println seasonal greetings. Seasonal greetings. This is what is a method without parameters, because I'm not passing any parameters. It is empty parenthesis and void. There is nothing I'm returning. All I can do here is when I call this method, I can print something. If I want to call that specific method, the first thing I had to do is, because it is under the greetings package, I have to call greetings. I go to my method, say gree control space. Now, if you observe, there is two greetings. The greetings which is there in by default, com ignite explore Java, which we have started with. Then the second greetings, which is in our same package, which is under the methods. I'm going to take the first one, which is greetings. Then I say greets equal to new greetings. Okay, I have created an object. Now what I want to do is I want to call greets dot. The moment you put a dot, it is showing me the seasonal greetings. Now I want to execute this program. Right click, run as Java application. You can see the output here, which I'm going to explore here, seasonal greetings. All I did was I created a method under the greetings. It's not taking any input parameters. It's not returning anything, but it is printing something for me. All I did was I went and created an object for greetings, which is greets, and I call this method. Okay. This is the first type of method, where method without parameter and without return type. Okay, guys. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now we will go with the second method. Method without parameters, but with return type. Without parameters, with return type. So I'll give a syntax also here. Let's say greetings, void. Okay. Now here, without parameters, with return type. Let's say you want to find a system time. If you want to see the time, are you giving any input for us? But we are getting output from the system. See, the current time is 8:13. I just want to get a system time. Okay. For that one, I'm not giving any input, but I am expecting some output. So I'll create another class from my methods, create class. Let's say get time. Okay. Or time info. Let's say I'll give it as a time information. Okay. Say finish. Now here, get time. I'm not giving any input, guys, but I want to return a string. When it is called, I want to return a string. All I will do is return, because I want to return something. Return is a keyword which will be used to return. We can use date time. I would like to use the date time class. Java time date and time. Yeah, local date time dot now. Okay, guys, the now is going to give local date time. I'm giving it as dot toString. Okay, So instead of me giving some value, I'm taking one of the inbuilt API, which is called local date time. It is a date time without a time zone of calendar system. Okay. Now, what this will do is when I'm calling this dot now, it is giving me the local date time, which I'm converting into string. My return type is string. If you observe here, I'm not passing any input, but I'm expecting an output. Right? Now I go to the explore methods. This time, where is my method, which is in the time info? I created time info object. So times equal to new time info control space. Now what I want to call is times dot. You see here get time. Now I'll try to execute this and show you. Right click, run as Java application. Now you can see here the time zone got executed, but nothing is printed because we are not printing anything here. We are returning something from that method. So that's where you can capture that information. If you keep the cursor on get time, you can see here it is returning a string for us. It is giving a complete package which is com.ignite.explore.java.methods.timeinfo.getTime is returning as a string. Now if we can capture that in a string, let's say current time. Now see here, current time I have taken, that is this method is going to return me current time. Now I can print it out, sys out current time. Let me execute this, right click, run as Java application. Now can you see the current time? It's 2024-01-23. Okay, 8/16/39. Which is, see what happens is from the current machine, whatever is the time which is there, it is printing. Imagine you are executing this in any of the servers which is from US, it will give you that system's time. Okay, and you can have a different time formats also. Currently, I'm just printing as it is, but you can convert it into, let's say 2024 instead of 01, you can have it as a January 23, either it is 23. Sorry, this is a date, right? 23. Then 8/16, right? Whether you want it in a 24-hour format or a 12-hour format, you have all the options given in a formatting, date formatting. But for our purpose, all we did was we created a time zone info. When you call this method, it is returning us something. Okay, this is called method without parameters, but with return type. If you observe here, this is a method. We are not passing any input, right? But we are expecting an output of type string. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, third one, method without parameter. No, this time is with parameter. With parameter and without return type. This time, without parameter, with parameter, I want to pass some input, but I don't want to return anything. Right? This time, what we can do is let's create another class. Methods, new class. This time, let's say print, okay, user details, for example, user details. Okay. So this user details, let's say print full name. I want to print a full name. So this is my method name, which is full name. I want to pass two parameters, which is string first name, string last name. Right, guys? and I don't want to return anything. If I don't want to return anything, void to be given. Guys, for methods, for sure you have to give a return type. If it is not giving any return type, you have to give it as a void. So here, if you observe, I'm not returning anything, but I'm taking two input parameters. What I want to do here is I want to print out these two. Let's say string full name equal to, I'm taking the first name plus here it is used for appending. Okay, plus is used for appending. I can write it here. Plus symbol is used for addition. In the event, both are numbers. Okay. It is used for addition and concatenation. Okay. In the event, any of the values are string. Okay. What does it mean? If I pass 10 plus 10 comma 20, it will print 30. If I pass 10 comma Shyam, it will append 10 Shyam, it will show. So plus is used for two purposes. One is for arithmetic operations, another one is for concatenation. So coming back here, it is a concatenation. First name plus last name equal to concatenation, but it will attach together. What I want to do is I want to give some space. That's where I added a space in between. All I want to do is sysout system.out.println sysout full name I'm printing here. Full name I'm printing. So I'll repeat here. This print full name, it is taking two parameters, but it's not returning anything, but it is printing inside this method. I go to the explore methods. This time I create a object for user details, uDetails equal to new user details. Now I want to call this method user details dot print full name. I'm passing here Shyam and Kakumani. Now let me execute this, which is Alt-Shift X and J. Now you can see the output Shyam Kakumani, which is appended. Are you able to see this one? Are you able to understand what I'm doing here? Yes,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Yeah. So now this is the method which we are trying to use it here. It is void, which is without a return type is void, and with parameters, we are passing two parameters. Right, guys? Now we will have another method, a method with parameter with return type. With parameter and with return type or a return value. Instead of return value, we can say return type. Okay. So this is straight away we can see our arithmetic, the calculations, right? So classes, calculations. Now you can see here, okay, this is for different purpose we used last time. Integer first and integer second, it is returning int. Okay, let's still create one more method and understand in a for a different example. So I go here, methods, right click, new class. Let's say tax calculation. Right? Let's say finish. Let's say service tax. Guys, we have a GST, right? Goods and service tax. Imagine we have to pass a we have to calculate a service tax. Let's say it will return us, we want to go for a integer and we will say integer amount. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to do is, let's say I'm passing 100 rupees as an amount, and what is the tax which should be collected for this sale amount. Let's say I'm selling an item for 100 rupees. Now I want to collect a tax on top of it to pay to the government. So here what I will do is, I will write it as amount into, what is the tax here? For example, I'm taking 12%, 12 by 100. Okay, this is a return. If you observe here, if I pass 100, 100 into 12, 1200 by 100, I should be getting the amount into 12. Yeah, 100 12 I should be receiving. 12% is for 100, 12% is 1 2. If I pass 200, 24 I should receive. So here if you observe, this is my method name. I'm giving an input parameter as amount and it is returning integer back. So to call this one, I'll create a new object which is called tax calculation. Let's say taxing tax value equal to new tax calculation. So I created an object. Now tax value dot. I want to go for a service tax. I'm passing it as 100. Then it is returning a value. It is returning a value of int. Okay. Then I go back here, integer tax amount equal to. Now I capture whatever it is returning. I want to print out. Sys out. I want to say for whatever is the amount, tax amount, and what is the input amount and what is the tax amount. Let's say tax to be paid. I'm saying plus tax amount. Right? I want to execute this, Alt Shift X J. Now you see it is 12, it is printing. Let's say I want to pass 500. If it is 500, 60 rupees to be paid. Right? Tax to be paid is 60 rupees. Here? Yes, guys, all of you understood here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm picking up this information from here and putting across as part of my method. I mean to say here. So if you observe here, guys, this is foundation for you for functional programming in Java 8. Java 8, you have a functional programming which works on basis of lambdas. Okay. So we will learn that also, but little later point of time once we are completed with Java 7 concepts. But if you understand this well here, you learned half of the stuff. You know, you go ahead and see any of the existing code. You will find only these 4 types of methods. A method without a parameters, without return type. A method without a parameter, but with return type. A method with parameter without return type. And finally, you have a parameter and you have a return value. This is the code for any of the programming language, not only Java, but if you go to any of the programming, if you are learning any of the programming language, your variables and methods are core for it. Any questions as of now on this part? All good, right? Okay, so we'll move on. Now, let's understand the next concept, which is exception handling. right? Should we go with exception handling? Or before we go for exception handling, let's go with operators. Then we get into the exception handling. Okay. We'll go with the operators. Right. What is an operator, guys?
Which is able to perform some operations like additions, multiplication, data operations, arithmetic operations.
Okay, so the operators are used to perform certain things, correct? So operators acts on operands and produce some output. Operators, there are two things, guys, operators and operands. Okay, operators acts on operands and produce some output. Let's say I'm giving 10 plus 20, right? It is going to give me 30, right? What is 10? 10 is a operand, 20 is a operand. When you give a plus, it is an addition, right? These are called arithmetic operators. All your calculations are arithmetic operations, right? Majority of them. So what are the arithmetic operators? Your plus, which is for addition, your minus for subtraction, star for multiplication, slash for division, for modulus to return the value. It is whatever is the remaining value. Let's say 10 by 4, the remaining is 2, which will be the modulus will give you the return value. So these are the arithmetic operators, right? Then there is a relational operators. Can anyone try to say what is a relation and how it works? Yeah, and or. No, it's not correct. And or. It's not a relational. Yeah, it's a logical one. You're absolutely right. So your logical operators are and or. Okay. For and you will use, let me do in a reverse way, which is ampersand, which is and or is pipe symbols. Okay, it's a pipe symbol. Then you have a not, which is negate. Reverse. Okay. Yes, anyone would like to help me with the relational operators?
Double equals.
Double?
Equal.
Double equals. Okay. Okay, perfect. You have to call it as equals.
Yeah.
Equals is double equal is used for equality check in Java. But if you go for a different programming language, it may differ. For JavaScript, it is triple equals. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
Greater than, lesser than.
Yes, less than.
Greater than or equal to.
Greater than, equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. Why do we do all of these things? What is the use of it?
To compare two operators and get a Boolean value.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So this will return a Boolean value. Okay. So relational operators returns Boolean value. This is important for us, Boolean value. The reason is, let's say you want to go for a driving license. So the eligibility is 18 years. Let's say I would like to apply for a driving license through online system. What happens is it will ask me my date of birth or my age. If my age is less than 18, I'm not eligible. It will give me a message. So that's where it is give a Boolean message, yes or no, or true or false. If it is true, you execute this. If it is false, execute this. This is going to be part of your conditional statements. Whenever you are using if-else conditions, you will be using a relational operators. Okay, if a value, see, let's say you want to go for a discounting. For example, what happens is, taking a simple example, there is a pharmacy store called Mediplus. Okay, they have a discount mechanism. Until 1,000 rupees, they will give a above 100 rupees and below 999. They'll give a 10% discount. Within 100 rupees, there's no discount. And above 999, which is 1,000 plus, they will give a 20% discount. Now, what happens is the system should calculate a discount when you are giving an input. Let's say when I went and purchased a medicine which is 95 rupees. I'm not eligible for any discount. In case if my medicine is 600, then I'm eligible for 10%. If my medicine costing me above 1,000, let's say it is 1,200, I'm eligible for 20% discount. So what is happens is, this is where is the relational operators come into picture. If the amount is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, all these things will come into picture over there. Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next is the arithmetic operators, which you have seen for your regular calculations, which you'll use your addition, subtraction, multiplication. This is common across your life, wherever you're going. Let's say you went and buy a fruits. 1 kg of fruits is 50 rupees. And if you go for a 2 kgs of fruits, it's 2 into 50. It's a multiplication. Okay. You went to the fruit shop and you bought 2 fruits, 2 types of fruits. Let's say a 1 kg of grapes, which is 50, and 120 is apples. Now you took 1 kg of fruits, grapes, and 1 kg of apple. It is 50 plus 120, it is 170. These are regular calculations which we do. Right? Sometimes they say for 100 rupees, there is 4 kgs, you will get it. Then what we will do? We want to understand how much it comes per a kg. 1 kilo, they are saying 40. If it is 4 kgs, they will give in 100. Then what we'll do? We will do the division, saying that 100 by 4, it is 25. Okay, if I go for 100 for 4 kgs, then it is 25 rupees per kg. But if I go for 1 kg, it is 40 rupees. Then you can compare whether you want this or not. So you go for a your division. Then you go for a modulus. Let's say let's say you have 100 rupees, but you're going for a 3 kgs of 30 rupees. Now they have to return an amount for you, right? So it's 100, 3 into 30, which is 90 rupees. 100 minus 90, 10. 10 is your modulus. So you use all of these one in your day-to-day basis, because whatever you're trying to do it manually, you are doing it automated way. If you go to a supermarket, these all are happening behind the scenes, right? You will go and give a 500 rupees note and you bought certain items. They will give you input as 500 and it will deduct the amount of what you purchased and it will show you a balance amount. Right? So this arithmetic operators and relational operators we understood. Then logical operators. What is a logical operators? What is the logic? As the name suggests, what is the logical? Yeah.
If the both conditions are satisfied, it will give you for 100, you get 2.
That's correct. So see, logic is based on 2 things. You're going to pass 2 values. Based on the 2 values, sometimes you have to evaluate both the conditions. Sometimes you have to evaluate only one condition. I want to give an example for a logical operators. I'll go here, create one class. See, as part of Java itself, right click, new class, logical operators. See, I'm taking a main method. Yeah. Tell me, logical operators, how? Give me an example.
Like if the both conditions, like if it will be everything, if the both conditions are true, that will be true.
Let's say for AND. In AND operator, both values should be true to evaluate the condition. Yeah, let me copy this one and write it here. In AND operator, both values, both input values, whatever we give as input values, right, should be true to evaluate the condition. Give me an example.
Right.
Yes.
So using like relation operators area.
Yeah.
It's 2 equal to 3.
No. See that, that's what. Let's see the biggest problem everyone is doing when they're learning is taking examples which is irrelevant. Right? See, my way of explaining the things and making you getting ready, it's more of like I'm preparing you for an interview kind of, right? You can't go to the interview and say in AND operator, if 2 greater than 3 or sort of things is not working. You have to give a live example or a real example, which where will you use? Even you didn't use in your project also, not a problem, but you have to think and you have to give that example. Right? You remember that's what I was telling. It's not you learn a technology and apply it business later. While you are learning itself, when you apply, then you come to know, okay, this is how it works. Okay, let me take an example. You are go to a supermarket. You are a first time user, right? You will get an additional discount. If you are a regular user, you get a different discount. For example, you go to a DMart. DMart is one of the retail store in India, right? So let's say if it is a first time user, above 1,000 rupees, above 1,000 rupees purchase, right? Get 25% discount. Okay. Otherwise, let's say 10% discount. Right? Now we have to give 2 conditions. Let's say Boolean new user equal to true. Right? Integer purchase amount equal to 1,000, 1,200. Okay. Now I will write a condition. See guys, I'm using a if. Okay. These are called conditional statements. I'll write it here. Conditional statements. It's a if condition. Okay. What I'm doing is, if is a new user and and is ampersand, guys, and purchase amount greater than or equal to 1,000, then sys out eligible for 25% discount. Okay, we can write a logic here. Discount calculation logic. Okay. Else sys out eligible for 10% discount. Okay. Let me execute this program. Right click, run as Java application. Now you can see here eligible for 25% discount because the person is first time user. This condition is true. If it is true only, then second condition is evaluated, guys. The beauty of AND is if the new user is true, then only it will execute the second condition. If it is false, even it won't execute the second condition because If both are true only, it will be true. If anyone is false, it's false. Now, if I go here, he's not a new user. Let's say I'm giving it as false. Now you see, I'm just changing the user as false. He's not a new user. Alt Shift X, J. Now you can see he's eligible for only 10% discount. Okay, this is the first one. Let's say now he's a new user, but buying for 900. Now, if I execute here, it will show us only for 10% discount because it is not satisfying both the conditions. And is required to satisfy both the conditions. What is the conditions here? This is the conditions. First time user and above 1,000 rupees. Otherwise, you are a normal user. Even though you are a new user, you are not eligible because you are not purchasing to the amount which is required. So coming back here, and operator, both input values should be true, should be evaluated to true, should be evaluated to true for to evaluate the condition. What is the condition? This is the condition. If the condition is true, you will execute this code. If it is not true, you will execute this code. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So now that is the ampersand. Now I want to go for a OR. Okay. I want to go for a OR condition. So let me take out some space here. Guys, I'm not writing the logic over here. The logic is simple, right? We have already calculated a tax, right? That amount and this minus this amount should be done. So sometime back, we have done a tax calculation, right? So here, you're calculating a tax here. There you can calculate a discount. From this, whatever is input purchase amount, you can deduct the discount from here. Okay. So I'm deleting. Okay, let me keep it here so that you will have an idea. Now I want to come here. I want to write the OR logic. Give me an example for OR. When do you use OR? Any of you?
If any one statement is true, it will be executed, right?
Absolutely. If one statement is true, let's say OR operator any one input value is true. If any one input value is true, any one input value is true to evaluate the condition. Give me an example. That's correct. The statement is correct. In AND case, you have to have both to be correct, but here it's only one should be correct. Give me an example.
We take the same example like example only.
No, let's try for new one now.
Okay, fine.
See, it will give a more power for you to thinking now. Guys, interviews are nothing but understanding your logical thinking as well as how you are applying your logical thinking into the code. That's it. What they ask interviews, right? They will ask you certain questions, which they will ask you to think about of, okay, if you are in this scenario, you want to write a code. What sort of code you will write, what logic you will write. It's a first logical thinking, then you are implementing in a syntax of that specific language. Any of you? Yeah.
They give 50% of points every restaurant. If you are doing it or world business, some will get 60% off.
Yeah, for that one, you need not write a logic at all, right? See, what I'm saying is in any of one condition, either this condition, if it is evaluated wrong, false, then you have to go with the other condition. Then only that will be executed, right? If both are false, it will not be. If both are true, also not useful, both are false, also not useful. Either one.
For calculating the discount, we can check if it's a new user or a member, then we can give 25% discount.
Okay, that's correct. So it's a similar one. Let's take it a different scenario. See, let's say he's also necessarily also trying to say the same one. You can think about it later. If it is a new user or amount is greater, correct? Give me a moment. Let me try to tell you. Okay, if your is, let me take this scenario, guys. You want to purchase a movie tickets, right? So you are eligible for this specific offer if you are buying 6 tickets, or you are holding a let's say Axis Bank credit card. Anyone, either 6 tickets. See, if you're buying above 6 tickets, you are eligible for, let's say, 20% discount. Or if you have this card, you are eligible. It doesn't matter how many tickets you're buying. 20%. Yeah. Okay. Let's say, guys, let's say book my show. I'm taking this scenario, book my show. Eligible for free popcorn, for example. Free popcorn if you got Axis Bank card or buying more than 6 tickets. By buying six or more tickets. Okay, this time, now what happens is 2 inputs we have to give. The first one is string card type. Right? Let's say Axis Bank. Axis Bank card. Second one is integer tickets count equal to 6. Now I'll write a logic. Then I'll change the, values also to see how it performs. If card type dot equals to, here, if you want to compare equality of a text, which is your string, you have to use equals. I'm giving it as same as a Axis card. Second is R. R is your pipe symbol, or ticket count is greater than or equal to 6. Then sys out. You got free popcorn bucket. Else sys out. Better luck next time. Right, guys? So now what I will try to do is I'll execute. First, I'll give a ticket count as 5. Then I execute this program. Now you can see little up I'll take. I'm going to showcase the complete code here. 1 second. Control Z. Yeah. Yeah. So let me clear off this one. Alt Shift XJ. Now you can say free popcorn bucket because it is an Axis Bank card. Then it doesn't evaluate the second condition, guys, because even though you have a 5, it is not going to evaluate the second condition. It's not necessary because the first one itself is true. If the first condition itself is true, it is going and saying that you got a free popcorn bucket. Let's say I am giving, instead of Axis Bank card, I'm giving HDFC. Now, if I execute it, now both the conditions are wrong. See, it's not a credit card, is Axis Bank card, our ticket count is 6. It's saying that better luck next time. Now, if I change it to 6, the value is 6 tickets. Now, if I execute this, now I can see you got free popcorn bucket. So, why these are required is when you are having 2 conditions, if it is both should be mandatory, both should be true, then you can use it as and. If any one is is okay, then you can go for a or. And there is no limitations tag. Here I'm giving only two. For example, if I say pipe symbol, I can give another condition. Let's say show day, string show day equal to weekday. Weekday, the theaters are empty, right? If it's a, let's say it's a weekday also, you want to say, see show day dot equals to weekday, you can still get a free popcorn, right? Even though, let's say it is a Axis Bank, HDFC Bank card, I'm going for 2 tickets. When I go and execute this condition, you're still eligible for free popcorn just because of it is a weekday, they want to fill the theater. So there is no limitation for number of conditions, but ideally minimum is 2 we look for, right? If it is 1, you don't require a logical and all. It is simply you're taking about of this one. If it is Axis Bank card, you do this one, or else you do something else. Is it clear, guys? Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So now what did we understand here? We understand about of a logical operators. So logical operators are, there is 3. One is negate also. Negate is true to be converted to false, false to be converted into true. That's all what it will do, the negate operator. So I'll show that also so that you will be having it as, let's say, Boolean, let's say eligible equal to true, for example. So sys out, I want to give eligible, I'll give, right? It will print as true. Let's say Alt Shift X J, it is printing as true. In case if you want to negate, which is reverse it, you can use this symbol. Now, reverse. Okay. Yeah. You will use a exclamatory symbol to reverse the value. See, I have given eligible as true. If it is not eligible, if I want to make it, see, for example, you are getting a output as a variable name as true. If it is not true, okay, we have a multiple ways of checking the condition. See, if eligible, you can perform something. Else, you perform something. So here, if it is not eligible, you will give it as an exclamatory. You want to give only one condition. If it is not eligible, you want to show something saying that sys out not eligible. I want to just reverse the value is, you use it as a negation is used. I have given a wrong symbol, I think. It's a pipe symbol, guys, here. Yeah, negate is pipe symbol. I gave it here. It is, you have to give it as an exclamatory. See, this is negation. Negation is reverse. Okay, if it is eligible, if it is not eligible, see, that's what, if it is eligible, right? If it is non-eligible, say not eligible for the offer. Okay, I'm executing this. Say false, and if it is, I'll do it as false, I'm doing, and I'm giving it as true. In case if it is false, if it is true, what to be done? I will do the negation. So this all we will see going further in further up, lot of places we will use it. For simplicity, you can understand negation is reversing the condition whatever you are getting a output. If it is false, it will reverse it to true. If it is true, it will reverse it to false. That much we can understand. Okay, guys. So coming back here, we understand what is the operators. We understand the important operators, which is arithmetic, we already know. Relational and all also we will be aware of it. Let's say if you are eligible of above 18 years, you are eligible to. There is a A-rated movies, right? There are movies also will be different ratings, right? U, universal, A for adults and all, right? If it is a A-rated, childs are not allowed below above 18, below 18 years. So you have to show your ID card, right? So all those things come into picture. Now, conditional statement also we have seen, because these operators are interrelated with the conditions. You have some value. but you have to check that value. That's where you use a condition, if else condition. If something is correct, what to do, if not, what to do. That is a if else condition. Then you have a nested if. Nested if is if condition inside again if condition, like this. It is called a nested if. In case if you have a nested if, better to go for a switch statement. But we'll see all of this one in the next class. Switch. Yeah. Yes, we'll do. Yes, that also. So you have a while statement. We do the do while statement. And we'll also look for the loops also. What is the loops? You have this two will not come as a conditional statement, but it is more of like a loops. You will see that under the loops, right? You will see a while statement and do while statement. And you will use a for loop. Okay. So as of now, we are closing with the if else condition. Then tomorrow we will look after the nested if and switch also is not tough, guys. Switch, I'll show you an example. If else is if nested if is not a issue at all for you, you guys can look after. Switch statement, I'll show you an example, then we'll go with the loops. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Any questions? All good, right? Okay. So we will go for a couple of more classes like this because these are the foundations. Now you understand what is the methods and what is the variables, right? Now from now we can go a little faster and little better. We keep on covering more and more concepts, and we'll focus more on the application kind of. Because for you to write an application also, you should be aware of what is the method, what is the variables, what is the scope of variables, what is these conditions. So a couple of more days will continue on the same pace. Post that one, we see more and more of application wise how you apply all of this logic. Okay. So that's it for guys. So we'll see you tomorrow.